An out-of-this-world mystery in New Jersey. An unidentified object slamming into this auto repair shop in the middle of the night. The fireball tearing through the building.
That's when I looked up and I saw the giant hole up there in the ceiling.
When employees climbed up to look at the damage to the roof and ceiling, they saw where the unidentified object made impact.
A sizable dent in a thick steel gauge box. Yeah, and so that's when I went to my cameras and I found all the videos and realized what had actually happened. You know, it's like the giant flash outside and then the impact in here.
There's a bright flash, there's a boom, there's a hole. And, you know, that's 3 out of 4 things. If we had one more thing, like an item that we could identify as being extraterrestrial, then we might say it's something from space.
It comes just months after hundreds of drones were spotted in the skies across New Jersey.
What the heck?
The sightings shutting down airports and sparking conspiracy theories. The FBI investigated but ultimately found nothing sinister. Still, the FAA is now launching a weeks-long testing program in the state aimed at improving aerial detection systems to make sure drones like these don't disrupt commercial flights in the future.
Tonight, an aerial mystery that's been described as unnerving is growing. The FBI now investigating multiple reports of unidentified drones flying over New Jersey, some as large as a small car. And today, a large drone seen here, also described as the size of a small vehicle, flying over a California event where Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was in attendance.
More drones in the sky, Rockaway, New Jersey.
The New Jersey drones, initially spotted in the northern part of the state, now being reported further south. Sightings also now being reported in New York City. Staten Island Borough President Vito Fossella calling on the FAA and FBI to expand their investigation.
People have seen a number of 15-foot or so wingspan drones hovering around. In this day and age, I just don't think that that's something you take lightly. If it is, nothing to be concerned about. Someone should come forward and say that.
This is over my house right now. What is that?
It's the million-dollar question baffling New Jersey residents looking skyward.
They're just pacing back and forth, going very slow.
Since last month, dozens of drones mysteriously hovering in the skies at night. Near Morris County, the FAA has now ordered 2 temporary flight restrictions prohibiting drones over this military base and Trump National Golf Club after receiving reports of unexplained activity. Today, Homeland Security and state police met with some New Jersey officials, including Mayor Jim Maley.
I truly don't believe they have any idea where the drones are coming from.
Residents alarmed by the number of sightings.
One would go over, and then the next one would come, and then the next one, and the next one. So it wasn't like there would be 20 coming at one time.
Jonathan Lace, a pilot himself, shot this shocking video overnight of multiple car-sized drones near the Essex County, New Jersey airport. So concerned by what he saw, he contacted the FAA.
What's been probably the most alarming thing to you?
As a pilot, I can tell you that, when you're about to land, the last thing you want to see is something hovering in front of you.
What is that?
With many questions and few answers, residents and officials alike on high alert as the mystery in the sky deepens.
In Mendham, New Jersey, Olivia DiMattio's coffee shop is right near the sensitive locations where the drones have been spotted.
How big are these things? Are they different sizes?
They are the size of small cars, like almost like a Mini Cooper or a Ford Escape size. So it's not something that a kid is buying off of Amazon and flying around as a prank. Like, it's way, way past that.
And we're here in front of Picatinny Arsenal. It provides munitions products for all branches of the U.S. military. It's also one of those sensitive sites that these drones have flown close to. And Nora, both lawmakers we spoke to today say one of these drones needs to be taken down safely so they can get some answers.
From our 8 News Now investigators, dramatic UFO footage recorded aboard a U.S. warship off the coast of Southern California is making waves. As we first reported last week, Navy sailors recorded video of 2 tic-tac-shaped objects near their ship. Well, now an eyewitness to that encounter has stepped forward, and coincidentally, he's from Las Vegas.
A surprise, which is something I've never witnessed, was a light I noticed on the horizon, but it looked as if it were surfacing out of the water and going up. They all executed at the same time, leaving. It's not like 3 of them left and then one was kind of like a little behind them. No, they were all in sync at the same time.
Stay
Just a few hours ago, this shocking account from an enlisted crew member aboard the USS Jackson describing the unexplained incident that he saw himself off the coast of California just last year. The sailor revealing everything to investigative journalist Jeremy Corbell on the Weaponized podcast.
8 News Now investigator George Knapp spoke with the witness about his encounter with a whiz-bang craft that emerged from the ocean.
This is the famed Tic Tac object that was pursued by the Navy's best aviators off the coast of Southern California back in 2004. And this is the thermal image of two strikingly similar objects documented by the crew of the USS Jackson in February 2023 in the very same waters. The original Tic Tac proved to be one of the most consequential UFO incidents of all time, first investigated by a secret program based in Las Vegas, managed by the DIA. The incident generated a huge wave of media coverage and inspired Congress to launch new investigations into UFOs, now called UAPs.
Yeah, so this is in Black Hawk. It can switch between the two. But what's really important about this is that the high-ranking Navy officials said, we saw one of these come up out of the water. We then went to radar and we saw 4 of them. We then took our thermal cameras and we looked at one. And when you look at a plane, it looks like a plane. This doesn't look like a plane. In fact, it looks like the Tic Tac from 2004, where Commander David Fravor chased a UFO for the United States military. So look, it's tracked on radar, it's tracked on FLIR. We're lucky to have some of this footage that you're able to see now. But what you're not seeing, Gotti, is you're not seeing the typical signatures you'd see on an aircraft. There's a very unique propulsion system, it appears, from this footage. And again, people have come forward and risked to bring this footage to me and George Knapp. And as journalists, we have a duty to put it out after investigating it. I'm glad that it's out now.
And so what we're looking at right now, this is Department of Defense footage, right?
Yeah, essentially anything. This is filmed by a Navy warship, right? Yeah. So these are our systems that we use to defend the ship. This itself was, when I obtained it with George, we were able to put it out and show, it doesn't really anything with national security. You know, this is called the Sapphire system, but it does show something really unique. It's what's not in the footage. There's no tail, no wing, no propulsion. There's nothing that we can say that is typical or average propulsion. Everybody on the ship knew they were seeing something extraordinary. So obviously people thought it was important to document, and then finally witnesses come forward.